I'm Sarah Borks in Quito, and in conjunction with NAREIT Streetwise 2021, I'm speaking today with Manisha Nahata, SVP, Legal and Chief Sustainability Officer at American Tower Corporation. Manisha, thank you so much for joining me today.
Sarah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Why is the reporting of non-financial information a growing area of focus for companies?
Well, I would say it's a factor of pressure from various stakeholders. So stockholders, proxy advisory firms, employees, policymakers, they're all sort of putting pressure on companies to disclose more non-financial information, such as, various sustainability issues, including diversity. And in addition, I would say that companies are starting to realize that long-term drivers of success includes managing human capital and corporate culture. Also, our tenants are looking to sort of do business with companies that have strong sustainability practices. And they've, sort of asked us about our processes and procedures with respect to sustainability matters. And there's also a growing importance of a company's ESG profile, whether it be M&A, investments, and financings.
How did American Tower approach the dramatic increase in the focus on S of ESG last year in response to the pandemic and social movements?
Well, I would say that with American Tower, we've always been focused on the S in ESG, but really 2020 highlighted all the efforts and initiatives that companies across the globe took with respect to S. In terms of what American Tower did in 2020, we were ensuring that all of our employees that are working in the field have their necessary PPE, and that employees working from home around the globe have what they need to work remotely. And that would mean anything, including providing wellness and mental health trainings. To me, one of the things the pandemic really highlighted was the disparities in broadband connectivity, and those without connectivity have been placed at an even greater disadvantage. Our towers are really well positioned to play a key role in reducing this digital divide. And one program that American Tower is particularly proud of is our Digital Communities program. And that brings connectivity to communities that are in need. We partner with wireless carriers, technology partners, nonprofits, and we build computer-equipped kiosks that use the power supply and the broadband connection from our tower sites, and it provides communities with free education and training in ICT. In terms of sort of social issues, our charitable foundation recently pledged $1 million to counter systemic racism, and we also recently launched a social justice committee, which is organized to figure out which organizations will receive the funds that our foundation pledged. We also rolled out a matching gift program for racial justice. And also in 2020, our CEO held listening sessions with many of our employees to understand their concerns and experiences. And that then resulted in a CEO advisory council, which is employee-led and looks at diversity and inclusion in terms of recruiting, career development, employee engagement. And as of this week, we announced that we created a new position and hired a Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer that's going to spearhead all of the steps and initiatives that have been highlighted by our CEO Advisory Council. And one other point I just wanted to add in terms of S initiatives that American Tower took last year was that we publicly released a global human rights statement and a global vendor code of conduct, which just formalizes and publicly announces what we sort of consider to be fundamental values and expectations of our company in terms of maintaining fair and ethical business practices and our commitment to diversity.
What was the process at American Tower for including the new mandated human capital management in the Form 10K?
Yeah, so our corporate legal team and our external reporting team reviewed the guidance that the SEC has recently mandated. The teams looked first to our sustainability report to determine what disclosures we considered material and what was responsive to these new requirements. The teams then met with internal subject matter experts to determine the disclosure to be included, and that was then presented to our disclosure committee for discussion at the meeting to review the 10K. That draft disclosure was also sent out to our outside securities counsel and external auditor to review.
Manisha, thanks for joining me.
Yes, great. Thank you.
And for more news and information from REITwise, be sure to visit NAREIT's website, REIT.com.